How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. We have a new surprise event that has arrived in the game. It is called Meadflow Fest. So the flowing of mead, it's Oktoberfest. It's pretty cool. Fun fact, my little brother is actually in Munich right now for Oktoberfest. Maybe I'll find a little picture I can show you guys in a future video. This event, though, there's a chunk of good, definitely a chunk of bad or disappointing. Overall, I think it's a win, but there's a lot to break down, to review, and take you through. But this isn't going to be that long a video. It's a pretty small event. I think the video will kind of just be two parts. The first part will be a full breakdown, pretty quick breakdown, then a review, what I think is good about it, what I think is bad. And then the second part is just, what do little surprise themed holiday events like this mean for the game? Because that I do think is a very good thing that they're kind of latching onto here, and I hope to see more of in the future. But I also hope it will be done in a little bit better of a way, you know, with a little more intention. Tons to get through, but let's kick this thing off because they're giving us a video with kind of these mini gameplay cinematics featuring our two new skins coming this weekend. One for Iona, one for Hollow. They are incredibly goofy. I love them. Let's get going.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, so let's check out these skin trailers, see what they're all about. I did watch this once already. We've got Bread Lady, German Bread Lady Hollow. This is the skin I do want, but as you'll see in a second, it is pay to win only. It's a paid bundle. The Harvest Maiden. When she goes to heal, I'm almost certain she's throwing loaves of bread at you. Look at that. Freaking love that. And now we've got Iona. She's the little Oktoberfest girl with her giant Stein. The Stein Maiden, there you go. And this animation is what the game's all about. Right there, raining beer upon you with some nice crowd control based, powerful AoE, just dumping beers on your face. I do like that. I liked this video infinitely more than I ever could have guessed. It's pretty freaking funny stuff. All right, with the goofiness out of the way, let's quickly go through the event. There's a lot of stuff coming, so if we go here to new events, you will see we are getting two new skins. The first one, Iona, the Stein Maiden, or Stein Maiden. I know people get angry at my pronunciation, but I lived in Germany for a year. I've been dating a German woman for 5 years. It is pronounced Stein. It's a cool skin. I think she looks pretty sexy. You can, yeah, I like a German. What do you want me to say? It's going to be free. Or like free if you can win it. It's available from the Spiritual Altar. If you remember, what was it, a month and a half, 2 months ago, you could win an Ajax skin, Ajax, whatever the frick you want to call him. That, I believe, I'm almost certain was 18,000 points. That is a lot. I would think this will be less because she is an epic. So maybe it's somewhere between like 9,000 and 13,500, right? That feels like those would be like the milestones they will use. Me personally, I don't think this is something I can go for and can win. We'll break that down when I go through the banners, but for some perspective, I maxed out the Spiritual... But for some perspective, I personally maxed out the Spiritual Altar last weekend to get the Legendary Summoning Crystal. I was summoning anyway because I want to do the 1+1. I had to go to Pity to hit my 1+1. I did 210 summons. This is before, if you saw my video, that I moved on to the Setram and Seraphina banner. And in that, with those 210 summons and hitting double legendary, right? So you get extra points for each legendary. That's very nice for Spiritual Altar. I got about 7,200 points. So you would think to get that 13.5 or something, it would probably take about 350 to 400 summons. And if it's up at like 18K, I think unless you're very lucky, which of course you can be, I would predict, or if you're pulling a lot of Ancients on this Gon and Sargok banner, because those obviously they have a baseline of being a rare, which is a lot more points in general. I think for a lot of people, you're talking 400 to 500 summons. If it's at one of those higher marks, more realistically, 300 to 400, 350 to 450. It's gonna be hard to get, but if you're planning on summoning anyway, it's nice to go for. I think some collectors like myself are gonna be frustrated because if you're deep into the game, this isn't the greatest weekend to summon, even though there are two good banners. So likely you're gonna have to do what I'm doing and bite the bullet and skip out on her. The next one, which any of you spenders I think should go for, is going to be the Harvest Maiden Hollow skin. Freaking love it. I love the bread in the basket and she's just chucking it at you to heal you and I guess give you a little rage regen. Pretty awesome stuff. I think she looks really cool too. Maybe slightly basic, but pretty beautiful. You can just buy it. Typically, these skin packs are good deals. From what I'm told and from when I put it in my calculator, you usually get like a handful of rare summons, maybe a gold legendary divine summon, and then obviously the skin. So if you're interested in the skin and you're already a spender, it'll be a nice way to pick up some diamonds, some summons, and get the skin that you want. Now we're getting 2 banners. I've touched on them both. This banner, I have Should You Summons coming out for each of these banners. There'll be 2 different videos. One for the Helga Nyx banner, which it is worth mentioning, also features Dolores and Hollow, and Mari. What a tremendous, tremendous banner. This will run from Thursday through Sunday. Pretty interesting. It's kicking off a little early on 10/4 this Thursday. 2 very strong heroes. Helga a bit niche as it stands now. Maybe with her exclusive gear, she'll hit a little harder. She really is just a great spammer hero, completely goated elite, full meta for sticks, and then obviously an amazing source of stun as a floor unit with extremely reliable stuns, so huge for Guild Boss 2. Nyx, just full stop, is the best AoE piercing damage hero in the entire game. You know, that is not the most needed thing, but where you need it, there is no one better than Nyx. She's pretty tremendous, but that being said, she is a common bucket legendary. The most interesting thing for this banner, unless you're an early game player, which is just going to be the epics because they're unbelievable, is going to be the fact that this shows Helga getting added to our pool of heroes. So when they released her, she was a shard summoning event, and they said she would not be entering the summoning pool. What they should start saying is for a while, because we've seen a pattern now. Alistair was a shard summoning event. After a couple months with no announcement, he just showed up and started being available from Ancient Summons. Then it's happening now with Helga once again. And if you saw the leaked banners that I shared a few weeks ago, and Destin shared probably a few days before that, we know Crowdor is getting a banner too. And he was a time-limited fusion that wouldn't be coming to the summoning pool. So 3 times now we're seeing evidence that they're breaking that. I think that's absolutely noteworthy. By the way, guys, this is your typical 15x. It's going to happen with both rare summons, your Invocation of Spirits, and legendary summons on your divine summoning. So some nice opportunities to snag these 2 if you want them. Then we have a very good ancient banner. It just speaks to the weirdness, because I'm about to be negative about it, of the state of the game. So Gon is a unbelievable ancient lord, one of the better ones in the game. I'd probably rank him like 7th. However, our top 3, and especially our top 2, top 3 being Ingrid, Praetus, and Valderon, top 2 being Ingrid and Praetus, they're head and shoulders with the way the game is right now. They're way above the rest. And Ingrid and Praetus, they're just so valuable, so transformative, so completely overpowered. How do I, with a straight face, tell you to go for Gon and Sargok for any normal player, normal level spender? I mean, Gon, fantastic, and his Lord skill even better than Valderon for his faction, but he's not this entire monster one-man wrecking crew like Valderon. So how can I tell you to go for that? And then Sargok, incredible. But if you're the kind of person that's going to go hard on this banner, it's quite likely you already have like a Silas or something, or you're not deep enough into the game yet to be so heavily obsessed with PvP. So otherwise, he's just kind of normal. He's not going to help that many people with your traditional progression outside of like Gear 8-3. Both very, very high rated heroes. You can check it on my website. They are fantastic. That website being fastidious.gg. However, very strong banner. And honestly, so is this, but just the state of the game right now, it's just all about having like the most OP, the OP-est heroes, because those are the ones that just completely and utterly move the needle. And like this guy, he isn't Ingrid or Praetus. So like, what is there to do? And he's not Valderon. Now we've got some main events, and this is where things change a bit because they're just the same events we always get. Wizard Horde. This will just be like a daily login with maybe a couple tasks looped in, but it's going to be very, very simple, very straightforward. The rewards are very mid. The Lucky Roulette, we see this all the time now. This is probably the most exciting in terms of rewards because you can get these shards of ancient summoning crystals. Also for people progressing, you should be able to stock up a lot of these fragments of the 5-star psychic power. So really good fodder for progressing. I really appreciate these on my young free-to-play Epics account. Let's continue. Festive Frenzy. This is just if the whole server summons enough, you get everything. The whole server will summon enough. We always beat it by a mile. You will get all this. But again, I mean, couldn't this be a legend? Actually, this is just the breakdown, not the review. I'll wait, but you can see the reward's not too thrilling. And that's the whole event. There's one final thing before we go into the review, and then I talk big picture. If we look over here, all those things I just mentioned are covered. Festive Frenzy, Lucky Roulette, Spiritual Altar for Iona, Wizard Horde. I think that's basically it. These are all the banners. And then there's this, just a general Meadflow Fest. This is not something we just see. Like, that's not just saying, oh, this is when it's happening. This is a specific thing. It's lasting 5 days from Thursday to Tuesday. I don't know what it is. There's some grand prize of a rare summoning crystal. Maybe it's just a separate Meadflow Fest login. My ultimate hope is there's like a special Meadflow redeem shop. Maybe we collect German Steins and that's a special currency for a special shop. Who knows? I would think that's unlikely, but that's my pipe dream. Maybe that's a good transition now into a proper review of everything going on here. I'll keep this to under 2 minutes. That's my promise, starting right now. Skins are really cool. One, very few people will get because a lot of people won't be summoning enough this weekend. Big spenders or people that want to go very heavy on these two banners will get Iona, so that is fun. Hollow, very accessible if you're a spender, completely inaccessible if you're free to play. Straightforward, easy enough, should be a good deal. That's kind of the entire event. We have two very good banners, but probably not elite enough banners. There's a little spoiler for the should you summon for most people to justify summoning. That being said, very strong banners, but it's just that there's a standard that it seems banners nowadays have to meet. If we look at the Wizard's Horde, completely conventional. I wish, like, why couldn't this be a 5-star psychic power? Why couldn't you throw in like one ancient summoning crystal? I just feel like it's easy to give us just a tiny bit more without being overly generous and getting people a lot more excited. That being said, a lot better than nothing, which is a very obvious option for this weekend. There could just be no event and no free stuff. Don't think that is lost on me. Lucky Roulette, I'm always happy when it's here. It's a completely average whatever event, but you do seem to pile up the resources pretty fast. You get tons of spins, and they all come with a little chunk of something. I'm all for it. Festive Frenzy, this is the one I'm most disappointed in, because these are basically guaranteed rewards for everyone, because we will hit the summoning thresholds. I don't think they're such generous rewards. I mean, again, way better than nothing, which was obviously a possibility this weekend, but like auto battles, whatever, not even a full 5-star psychic power, just fragments of it, just shards of it. A 4-star psychic power, again, that's like nothing. A little bit of stamina, it's probably gonna be either 200 or maximum 400 stamina. And then what is this, maximum 2 epic skill crystals? You know, on a very young account, it's definitely useful, but on a lot of accounts for players that have been playing for a while, it's completely unusable. So it's just blah. It's just like you're not going to touch those epic skill crystals. You've already skilled everyone you want to. You've already stockpiled dozens and dozens and dozens. I think this one's kind of an L. To zoom out further, the big problem is that's it. That's the end of the review. You know, it's just there's stuff, so that's the plus. Like, it's happening and that's fun. It could easily be nothing and that would be worse. However, it's not anything that great. What could save it, and how can we zoom out further? That's the end of the review. I think I kept under 2 minutes. How can we zoom out further and talk about the good that this idea is and how it can improve the game moving forward and just make this a more fun thing? I would love if just every 2 weeks, like clockwork, we got a silly little event like this. You know, as I've said a million times now, these are just better than nothing occurrences, but they keep the game fresh and interesting. However, they could spice it up by making the rewards not completely generic. Stamina this, you know, a couple diamonds this, rare summoning crystal this, 4-star psychic power this. Just have something a little special. Maybe you use these events to, hey, you're introducing a hollow exclusive artifact, and we will all have an opportunity to gather some special currency and do that. Or maybe they make it an exclusive artifact fusion. That'd be really fun. I know people have talked a lot about that. You know, maybe make the Iona skin, instead of like a single one-off reward from the spiritual altar, do it like the Silas fragment fusion way back in the day, the shard summoning event. Just make it a mini one. It's like you got 5 days, you got like an event a day, and if you hit a pretty realistic number of points on each event, you get, you know, let's call it 15 shards of an Iona skin. And if you get all the 5 events, you get 15 from each. Look at that, 75, you fuse yourself in Iona skin. That would be engaging, that would be community building, it would be accessible, it would be more fun. To me, this is kind of like a flash in the pan thing. It's a lot better than having nothing. Hopefully the optimistic version of me is right, and this turns out to be a whole extra fun thing. But as it stands, there's no map, there's no content, there's nothing strategic. It's just going about your daily business and getting a little bit extra. And that little bit extra certainly is appreciated, but I think there's a creative way to improve upon it that makes it a lot more engaging without a lot of extra effort from the developers, and I think we'd all just be all smiles. And then it's so easy that they could just run this with every silly holiday or, you know, international occurrence that happens. So here's your Oktoberfest thing, and then it's like, oh, it's the Champions League final, and you do something silly, or oh, it's Arbor Day. You know, you could go deeper and deeper and deeper. It seems pretty low effort, it seems pretty easy, and I think with just a little bit of a changed approach, it could be more engaging. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. At the end of the day, this boils down to essentially improved daily login rewards for 5 to 6 days, and the opportunity, if you're spending or planning to summoning a lot, to get 1 or 2 skins. So, cool. That's where we're at. I think it's like, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. So it's not horrible, because it is better than nothing. But, you know, it's not getting people out of their seats, and it's certainly not bringing people back to the game that may have already left. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, please like it, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think in the comments, share it with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.